Hi, this is Adam from Trido Media. In this video, we're going to look at local landing pages and how they're going to help your business. I'll also go over a few tips as to what to include to ensure they rank in the search engines, and hopefully by the end of it, you'll have a good idea of how to make local landing pages for your local business to increase the amount of traffic to your website. So to start, if you're a business that covers more than one area, it's important that you target these locations on your website. So if you're a local business but you offer your services in more than one town or city, it would make sense then to come up in the search results for all of them. So for example, if you're in a solicitor's company based in Exeter, but you're happy to cover the Bristol, Plymouth, Bridgwater and Taunton area, for example, it's important to have a page on your website targeting each one of these towns and cities. You'll struggle to get on the local map section, but the free organic results under them are up for grabs, and that's where most people will be looking to find a business. So why do we need to target more than one location? Well, you'll be able to advertise on Google in every area you provide your service. The more areas you obviously cover, the more traffic you're going to get to your website. The more traffic you get, the more conversions, the more clients and customers. It's also a relatively easy process as long as you know what you're doing, and it won't take too long to implement. Either working on your own if you know a little bit about web development, or working with your developer, you should easily be able to develop landing pages for each area you work in, and as well as that, all the services that you provide in those areas. So just to go over it, here's an example of one of our clients, and they provide chimney repairs in probably about 20 areas. So these are two examples of those 20 areas, and in Plymouth on the left hand side, they're at the top of the front page in Google for chimney repairs in Plymouth, and then on the right hand side you've got Exeter, and they're sixth in the organic results for chimney repairs in the Exeter area. So you imagine they provide chimney repairs as one of their services, and obviously we'll be doing this for all their other services as well, not just chimney repairs. But they offer chimney repairs in Plymouth, Exeter, Exmouth, Taunton, Torquay, wherever else they might offer their services, and we will develop a landing page for each one of those areas for each service, which means they then get on the top of the search engines for all of those keywords, which again is going to help massively improve the amount of traffic that they can get to their website. And you'll be amazed how many websites that just target the local area they're in. If they're in the Plymouth area or the Bristol area or the London area, they just target the London, Bristol or Plymouth area. They've done SEO, but they've only done it to target one area. And realistically with local SEO, if you just targeted one area with one service, you're not going to get a massive amount of traffic even if you're at the top of Google. But if you're on the top of Google for every single one of your services, for every single area that you cover, then you're going to get a large amount of traffic and really are going to see a huge return in the amount of new customers and new clients that you get. Right then, so a few tips for local landing pages. Obviously there's more to it than this, but I'm going to go into it in enough detail to give you what you need to start off building your local landing pages. The first thing that I would suggest, and the first thing I notice when I look at other websites that have done landing pages for multiple areas, is duplicate content. Although Google doesn't have a penalty for duplicate content, it will have an effect on the ranking potential of a web page. Realistically, it's best to ensure the web pages have unique content that allow them to rank, especially if you're trying to rank in a competitive area. You're not going to get a plumbing website page on plumbing to the top of London or Bristol if it's duplicate content. You'll probably find it ends up on page 5 or page 6, which will never be seen and completely pointless. But just by creating your own content, and every single page has different content talking about the same things, talking about plumbing, you'll end up being able to rank that page on the local search results, which will inevitably mean that you'll be able to get on the front page. There might be circumstances where smaller, less competitive areas you can get away with duplicate content, and that's absolutely fine. I wouldn't suggest too much duplicate content on your website. I have seen it work, and it works at the moment, then fair enough, do it. But from my perspective, I always try and stay away from any duplicate content on a website, and that will enable those web pages to rank as high as possible. Secondly, then, optimizing all your images. Google can't see an image, so it relies on the information we give it. So for example, we use alt text, which is basically what Google reads to find out what that image is. Ensure you use a range of your targeted keywords in the alt text of your images. It's also a good practice to change the file name. So when you've taken a picture of work you've done or something that you've done, you normally just get a load of numbers for the file name. Change that to something relevant. Change it to the location and what you've actually done. So if you're taking pictures of a roof repair and you're in Bristol, then put that in the actual name of the image. All these things are going to help you with getting those images ranked in Google, and getting your web page ranked in Google. Nextly then, try and use variations of your main keyword throughout the page. This will help you come up in other searches to start with, because obviously if people type in chimney repair Plymouth, they also type in Plymouth chimney repairs in Plymouth, chimney repairs in Plymouth, chimney repair Plymouth. Lots of different keywords and lots of different variations that people can type in. If you're covering these on your web page, not only are you backing up your main keyword, but you're also more likely to come up in lots of different keywords for the same web page. All right, and as long as you're doing your on-site SEO, that page is going to have a lot of authority, and you'll be covering a lot of keywords, which means you're going to rank a lot higher in the search results. Don't fill your web pages up with too many keywords. You have to be realistic with keywords. My rule of thumb with the keywords is it needs to look natural to read. So if your customers and your visitors to the website are coming to the site and it reads naturally, it's going to be okay from a keywords perspective. If you've got Bristol solicitor, solicitor Bristol, solicitor Bristol, solicitor Bristol, solicitor Bristol about 10 times on your web page, not only are going to people be put off from reading it because it looks ridiculous, but Google will penalise you. There's not a penalty for it. As far as Google's concerned, it will rank you higher depending on the keywords until you get to a point. If it's too spammy and there's too many, you'll then start dropping back down and it will affect your rank in the search results. Page title and headings. So it's important to have your main keywords in the title of the web page, in the first heading of your web page, and then try and get variations in other headings of each page. And then as well as that, just to add, try and get your main keyword in the first paragraph. So if you're targeting solicitor in Bristol, try and have that in the first paragraph of your website, as well as the page title and as well as a heading. That just gives Google as much information as it needs to obviously rank that page in the search engines where it needs to be. Lastly then, for the tips is 300 words of content as a minimum. Google can only rank a web page if it's got content on it. So if you've got a page with 20 words on it, Google's not going to think it's very useful. So as a minimum, 300 words. If you're writing articles, I would try and get up to 500, 700, 1,000 words. But give Google the information it needs. It needs to see keywords, it needs to see content. And if it can't see that, it won't rank your page in the local search results. So it becomes pointless doing anything if you don't have the right amount of content. A few other tips to include then, if you have an actual office address in the area, so if you have an office in Bristol and Gloucester and Cardiff, then make sure that you add those addresses to the local landing pages, because that will give you a chance to get into the local results and the organic results. And again, it just builds trust in Google that you are from the area you said you're from. If you don't have a local office and you're just covering that area, you can still get a local number. People like to see and like to work with local businesses. So if you've got a page targeting Bristol, but you've got a London area number or a Plymouth area number, then it will affect your conversion rate. It's very easy to get local numbers for all of your local landing pages, and they can all be redirected to your main office phone number. So it won't affect you in any way, and they're very cheap. You can pick them up for £15 a month, and you can have local area numbers for every single landing page that you've got. So in conclusion then, local landing pages are a great way to increase your visibility. Right? You can find a far bigger reach of potential clients if you've got landing pages in every search result in every area for every service you provide. Spend time getting the layout of the pages correct. Make sure you've got a lot of content on that page. To improve conversions, like I've said, try and get a local phone number for the individual landing pages. It looks more professional, it makes you look like you are a local business, and at the end of the day, most local searchers are looking for local businesses. So the more you look like a local business, the better your conversion is going to be. Hope you found this useful. As always, if you need any more advice and guidance, please contact us and we'll help you as best you can. Thanks.